Yeah. So, okay, maybe we can read from chapter 4, The Wonder Drug, page 89. And if anybody wants to read part of it too, yeah, raise your hand. Be my guest. So he told his wife, hurry up and have the baby while I'm fooling Kompira. Once there was a husband and wife who lived hand to mouth. The pregnant wife went into labor, huffing and puffing as she crawled around the house in agony. They couldn't afford to summon a midwife, let alone a doctor. Unable to bear the sight of his wife's suffering, the husband went out to the well by the garden, poured a bucket full of water over his head, and sought the help of Kompira, the god he worshipped. My wife is struggling to give birth right now. Please help her to have a safe, quick delivery. I beg of you on my knees. Over and over, he doused himself with cold water and prostrated himself on the ground in supplication. But his wife's agonized cries never let up. It occurred to him then that perhaps he needed to offer Kompira a favor in return. Help her give birth safely, he prayed, and I promise I'll donate a pair of bronze torii to your shrine. Please help her, please. His wife overheard him. Dear, she called, her labor pains momentarily forgotten. Bronze torii are expensive. What'll we do if the baby pops out now? He turned and yelled back, never mind, hurry up and have the baby while I'm fooling Kompira. The father-to-be may have looked the picture of piety, but his prayer was calculating. His promise was empty, to be forgotten once the child was born and he had gotten what he wanted. Acting sincere until one's wish is granted, and afterward sticking out one's tongue. Surely the husband in this story is not the only one with such a faithless heart. Some readers are bound to protest. A scoundrel like him is beyond the pale. I'm far more earnest and sincere in my prayers and beliefs. And indeed, there are people of faith who would never try to fool a god or Buddha. Yeah, actually, that resonates with me. Before I met Buddhism, I think in high school, yeah, I believed like in a god. The god in this story was with the lower G, God, and yeah, in high school I believed in the one with the bigger G, and yeah, we had very difficult examinations we had to take and pass, and I would study hard, but still full of anxiety. And I remember, I guess it's instinct or naturally it comes to our mind. I would just, yeah, kind of negotiate with that God, praying, please help me pass this test. Not just pass, but I wanted to get very good grade, like, A plus or A. Please help me, please. And yeah, so, time passed and I took the test. Yeah, everything went well. But exactly as the story mentioned, I would totally forget, or like my promise, the strength and intensity of my promise or negotiation with God would waver and kind of begin to pale and fade as time passed. And you know how busy we are. Before we know it, we have to prepare for the next examination. And then whatever promise I had made, like, I would feed 10 homeless people, it would become so weak, I would feel very embarrassed by it. And yeah, we don't want to lose that sincerity. And yeah, we don't want to lose it. So I would try to be faithful to the promise I made, but at the same time, I could see my mind how it began to waver from my original commitment and promise. So that's the problem with people self-power faith, trying to believe with their self-power mind. It's very wavering. Okay, next section is, will no one come to save someone like me who lacks a mind of prayer? The novelist and poet Kunikida Doppo, 1871 to 1908, died of tuberculosis at the young age of 36. There is a heartrending story of his death. As he lay on his deathbed in a sanatorium, he revealed his suffering to Reverend Masahisa Uemura, the minister who had baptized him years before. Just pray, you say. If I pray, you say, all will be well. That is very simple thing, but I cannot pray now. The Lord won't accept a prayer that isn't from the heart. The words of the prayer are extremely easy, but a prayerful mind is difficult, so difficult to obtain. Won't someone come and save me, unable as I am to pray? In other words, no matter how easy the words of a prayer might be, right now the anxiety and terror I feel at my impending death are so great that I have lost my faith. I cannot pray from my heart. Won't someone, anyone, come to save me who cannot pray? Okay, we ran out of time, but but the conclusion is that Amida Buddha's vow is a promise to uh, liberate us from our suffering as we are. Even a prayer is not required. There's no requirement. It's totally unconditional. So maybe I can pick up where I left today. So good job, everyone, for being here practicing together. And yeah, have a wonderful Tuesday. Oh, we will have Hattori Sensei's class at 7 p.m. tonight. And have a wonderful Tuesday. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Bira.
Oh, my pleasure, Cecilia. Have a good one.